This is for my young people. Big Bill, Picasso. I used to sell crack in the trap. Now I make music at least 5,000 a track. Schedules collect dust in the show. I go in my cocoon and reinvent myself.
I used to watch your back, to pull out the dagger. I move too fast, coming up the ladder. Greedy and need, but I'm destined to change it. I made it, now I'm blessed. The next generation.
I see blue angels flying in the sky, and I'm reaching high. We keep on winning. I'm living my expectations. This is my presentation to the next generation. To the next generation. To the next generation. To the next generation. I'm extraordinary, yeah, so ordinary. I live my life to the fullest, why they wanna take it from me. I feel those dark and lonely nights. This is dedicated.
Finally, I can see, I can breathe, I believe. I was angry, alone, unhappy and cold, dragging my soul, agony road.
My mind's ahead of y'all, I perceive a future and ask for this gift. I see all these spirits every time that I look in the sky. And only intervention in front of my eyes, for
I
real.
would swallow my problems, roll in the haze, smoke them away, hoping today would just go away. Holding my faith, no I won't let go till you open the
This is
gates.
for the youngsters. In the beginning of the future, you ain't gotta be a thug of a hustler. I leave an invitation so you can enter with me into the nation. I see blue angels flying in the sky, and I'm reaching high. We keep on winning. I'm living my expectations. This is my presentation to the next generation. To the next generation. To the next generation. To the next generation. I'm extraordinary, yeah, so ordinary. I live my life to the fullest, why they wanna take it from me. I feel those dark and lonely nights.
Purchase your track today.
Make sure we put it on. We put them on. Turn all mics on. And you know, commented or you know suggested that we raise the volume because it, and we promise to work on that, of course. Powerful and beautiful, broadcast or talk we have for us today. But as we said in the bio or in the, it is only for masters. Because most of the time when we, that's why I fucking love YouTube. I mean Facebook. No, whatever. Who is who? By the words, you see? So the thing is like, what it is like they mentioned that we can be talking, speaking this, understanding is not from us speaking the same language, but it is us feeling the same thing. You see what I mean? It's really, that's why we started the year by telling you that move with the heart. You see what I'm saying? Because this is the only way you can get it safe or something like that. You see, otherwise, you see, you're gonna get lost from the get go, from the beginning of it. You see, for jokes, you see, because our lives has not been a joke whatsoever, since young, like we always say. The only reason we share our lives with you is because there is a lesson in it for you. You see? Otherwise, what's the point? If we just do like everyone else, then there's no need to hear anything. Sit down and then let someone with something unique to bring to the table, bring it to the table. You see? Because our job is not to keep on repeating the cycle. Also, is to respect the spherical, not spherical, but I mean, you know what I mean, the spherical, like the spiral aspect of things. You see what I'm saying? Where things don't repeat, they just keep on moving forward. You see what I mean? So what it is that it is true that we realize, like, there's no need, and of course it is thanks to the lovers, because I, unlike everyone else, I don't feel any belittled at all when I give credit to whomever. It could be a child, it could be a baby, it could be a dog. I will deliberately give you credit because I truly believe you can't take away anything from who I am or what I already am. And this is what we have to do to ourselves or for ourselves, is to elevate ourselves to a level where we don't need to pick and choose and do little things and being afraid all the time of sharing our lights or giving away our powers or whatever, and be like the earth where we give, you see, without thinking about it, because we know, like, we are abundant and in all aspects. You know what I'm saying? But it is a completely different thing, you see, when it is something you just say or repeat. Then it is something, And then also, guys, forgive me because I live with not too bright folks and stuff like this. It's not to be disrespectful. It is just what it is. They do not understand, you see, like, or respect and things like this, certain things, because that's why we have to each one teach one. You see, so until you guys support the platform and then I get the place where I can have the perfect transition for you, then let's only focus on the message, because it is potent enough. Even if it was in hell, it would be worth it to go down there and find it. You see what I mean? So be patient with us as we are moving, and as you can see, the platform is evolving day by day. And also we expect to have a place where we can even offer you more. The more you trust us, the more you work with us, the more you support us, the more we will be able to give to you what's in our heart to share. But we can only move as slow or as fast as you are moving, because our job is not to pretend that we are ahead of you, is to work with you whatever level you are, or even you think you are. But just make sure you move with where you are, not where you think you are. That's why know thyself is very important. You know what I mean? So we love everyone, of course, but at the same time, we have to be patient with everyone and understand where they are. We are, that's why I don't mean to hurt your feelings when I say you are the problem of the world, you see. It's because we are indeed the problem of the world to a degree where sometimes we may not even see how we could be the problem. But unless we are open to accepting our own, you know, animalistic behaviors and mindless behaviors, or like I always say, mindless monkey behaviors, then until then, of course, we cannot really move beyond where we are. First, it takes acceptance, accepting where you are, accepting the ills of that comes from your own soul and spirit, and accepting everything you do, and then you are, or whatever, and then only then we can go beyond, or we can move forward. You see. So without going any further with that, we just wanted to make sure to let you know, because we know curiosity, it's part of who we are. We are children that are very curious. You see, once, especially when it comes to the matters of the darkness. That's why you see the greatest platforms on YouTube or everywhere would be those that deal, or that steal people's lives and share it for some miserable gain, for money, whatever. You see, they will, like you see, they will talk about whomever, privacy, and then put it on Facebook, because they know everyone wanna know someone else's business. Why? Because he help us hide our own business. You see, and then also it's like it shows that we are not, we don't think we are as interesting as the other, or something like that. So of course the attention goes where interest is. You see, there's no lying, there's no playing games. It's really plain to see. Nobody really needs anyone to explain anything, to show you anything. This is why on this platform we don't teach or show anyone what to see. We teach you how to see. You see what I mean? So that whether I'm with you or not with you, you are able to see through the dark clouds, to the mud, through whatever it is, to the smokes. You see what I mean? Because I literally, take a knife and, cut your eyes open. Like the movie, whatever the name is, with Sandra Bullock, the latest one, with the seeing and things like this. I forgot the title. You see? So I can say also, through the same disclaimer, that I am very sorry, not sorry for the masters who are already, who've been trusting me all along the way, because I am so grateful, for those who held on. Because being, like I always say, from the get-go, I told everyone, even the girls that I go out with, the first thing I tell them is that my life is not the normal type of life, you see, because I never known anything normal throughout my whole life, right? And if your life is a normal life, I'll literally destroy it. Why? Because I cannot do normal, you see. The thing is, like, it's not something I choose, but it's just the way I am. And the best we can do to the women we go out to, or the men we go out with, is to tell them the truth of who we are, so that they know what to expect, you see. So the thing is, like I always tell these girls, that, okay, things may gonna start changing in your life, you see. You're gonna have more attention, you're gonna have this, you're gonna have that, because it's, even if I pretend not to see it, not to understand it, it's just my way to cope with it. But once you are not like the many, then of course you're gonna attract attention to yourself. It's just the name of the game. It's just the way it is. The best you can do is to get used to it. And this is why the only way, once I came back to life, the only business I wanted to start is like some type of counseling for the stars or something, because I see what they go through. I understand why Britney Spears had to shave her head and go have this episode. I understand why Michael Jackson had to take so much medicine, and that girl also, the Marilyn Monroes, and all the beautiful souls that came and shared their uniqueness and things like this, and then the reality literally destroyed them. But not because they were weak beings, obviously not, but only because they had no help whatsoever. Nobody, even those who came to help them, only came not because they gave a fuck, but only because they just wanted to pay their own bills, not really giving a fuck about what they are going to really. But when you are dealing with matters of the heart, money has to be just a byproduct. Of course, it will be, but it cannot be the forefront. It cannot be the reason, the intention behind you helping the other. And this is why I had to not tell you, but tame my own ego self from making it about money. Though the lovers, they want to see me live, they want to see me travel, they want to see me love, they want to see me everything. I get it. And this is why I do my best to balance things out. You see what I mean? But if it was not for them, you see, then I would literally give up on all these things, because really life itself is a beauty in itself. So you really don't give a damn about anything else. You see, except that once you start having children, then you realize, damn, that's a trap for me. Now I have to work. I have to do this. I have to do that because, I have to care for this. But otherwise, you see, you really don't give a damn. And this is why we have to understand those who take drugs, the crack, whatever we call the crackheads or whatever. It's their escape of the mechanical reality. You see, that some of us may find sufficient, but not all gonna find it sufficient. They escape the reality. You see, that's why someone suggested to me a new author and a spiritual leader of the name of I forgot. I shared it this week on Facebook with. He was on an interview with Oprah. And then he was talking about, he explained how the crackheads, we think they are this, they are that, they're bad, or they're low lives, or whatever. But the main thing with them is that, you see, they just tame the ego, the illusion, and then escape the illusion and go live the real life. And the real life is so beautiful. Love is real. You do whatever you see is what it is. You see. So the thing is, like, you're enjoying it so much that you truly don't give a damn about the vessel, the avatar anymore. You just want to escape the next escape, the next escape. You see, because we make the reality so mechanical and stupid. But it's only about the leadership. You see. And this is why when we say the leadership, we're not trying to put down those who led us from the time of Pisces into the new age, the new dawn of Aquarius or something like that. You see, of course, we have to be grateful, but it was what it was for that time. But things are ever changing as is time. You see what I'm saying? So, of course, it may have served us, those type of leadership, mechanical, or everything became very, money driven, or something like that. It's every nation became corporations. Every people thereby became servants or whatever. You see what I mean? Something like that. But this was for that time. You see? Now it's a new era of time where we are graduating to a higher self, to the spiritual self, to the will self. You see what I mean? So now, if the mind was enough for the old time where we do this through the mind, so now it's time to use a different mind, the heart mind, you see, because it's a higher mind. It's much further. You see what I mean? Much evolved or something like that. So therefore, the same leadership, it's not for us to throw them in the mud and under the bus. It's for us to be grateful for what they have done, you see. Thank them for having led us here alive, still going, because of course we could have just destroyed things. If they did not do the best they could, then of course, you see, we would have seen the results. Whatever you see now, it's because maybe we're trying to prolong the time. You see, prolong the same mindset into the future that we are living today. But in reality, it was what it was. It was meant to be the way it was, you see. And then whatever was the leadership at that time was the leadership we needed at that time, you see, because we had to make things simple so that we can survive the time, you see. Because men, of course, whether we like it or not, we always know what to do, you see. And this is why I realized that it is not the elite or that is really stopping things, or that is really the problem, you see. But except that they always have solution. They have to have solution because they know it's easier to say I'm on the path than it is to walk that path. So they don't see how humanity gonna come from slave mentality into master mentality so quickly. They know it's not that easy. They know some may do it, but not the majority. You see, so that's why they had to have plans. In case we do not pay heed or mind to the lessons and to the voices of wisdom and stuff like that, which is what we are doing right now. We always want to just do things the old way, and we don't want to accept new things. It's not that we always have to look for new. If you think life is always old, repeating old patterns, then you are mistaken. You see what I mean? You have to know that you are mistaken. That's why know thyself. You see? But at some point, he may have served. And of course, if it still can serve, we take what works and then leave what doesn't. But at all turns in life, we have to completely never fail to look at the reality. Yes, let's look at what the ancient books said 1,000, 6,000 years ago or whatever. But at the same time, there's gonna be an ingredient that is new to the time. So where the ancient is looking for the future to find the antidote to that in case they have to repeat that cycle again, so they themselves can look up to it themselves. You see, that's what it is. It's always hand in hand. You see, it's never about, okay, always rely on the past. Where the past also have to rely on the future. But if the future don't do what the past has done, which is seeing the reality and find the solutions to the reality and leave it there for the future to, pay heed to or take lessons from, except that we repeat the same old, then you see, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to do with your little minds at the moment, or our little minds at the moment. And for now, you see, that's why we also always say it's master. Why? Because when you listen, certain things I have to say may not be pleasing to you if your mind is small. You see, that's why when we say these things, we're not trying to hurt anyone. If you are hurt, then you have to be a master enough to understand where the pain is coming from. It's not that I give you the pain. I'm only showing you where the pain is, you see, so that you can work with it. Because knowing is half the battle, you see. So that's what it is. It's not about, hurting this, blah, blah, blah. We may be saying the same things, but our intention make it different, you see. So we find it very important that we make sure to tell you, you see, if you are here. But of course, by all means, let us know what you think. Think about it, because this is what we're trying to do. In the words of the brother, what's his name again? I keep giving the credit to Tehuti, but of course Tehuti was our first grade mind, what I mean? So it's all go back to him anyway. But the brother Calloway, in his words, I would say, we are just here to make you think. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, basically, it's just it's all about sex today. And what I did is that I just take some excerpts of the book that I'm finishing right now and getting ready to release. You see that where we speak on sex and sexual energies and stuff like that, to give you an understanding so that you may see for yourself what you are doing wrong and what you are doing right. Because most of us are under the illusion that sex is about taking a little wee or something like this and put it into a hole, whether it's a rat hole or rabbit hole or a lady hole or whatever. You see what I mean? But there's more to it than that. What we have understood so far is only the bestial level of sexual energy. You see, that's it. Like the masters among us always say, it's only the bestial level. It's what all the animals are already doing. But we're supposed to transcend the animal self, especially in these times. You see what I mean? To really make it to the next level, that is whatever long to be. So the thing is, like, somehow we think, okay, we know sex just because we have sex. Just like you may think you know what I'm saying because you speak English. You see, we always are making that, and they are the elite for a reason, whether we admit it or not. You see, because whether we agree with them, disagree, we hate them or not, yet every effort we make in our lives is to run towards them. You see, So that's why we have to learn to be real with ourselves. You see what I mean? And on this platform, only the real survive. You see, it's not because we want to, because this is the time. This is we go with the time. You see, and we sorry also. We apologize if we have leveled up high to the point where some would say only the crazy will. You put your walls so high that only the crazy will be willing to climb and come and enjoy with you or whatever. And those are those, who know better. They are ahead of their time. They understand. You see what I mean? And to them, I thank the universe, for them. Because the human being is so communal that, you see, if they will do their best to find people that not speak their language, not as in the surface words, but speak the heart language, like understand what's being said, because they themselves, cannot help but seeing the reality as well. So the thing is like we see, of course, many attempt, to tackle the situations, but we try to stop them without telling them what to do all the time. You see what I mean? We try to stop them. Let me lower the volume of the mics a little bit because, it's going on the red and I don't want it to reverberate or something like that and give you that feedback and low frequency sound. So what it is what? We see many, though we are grateful for every effort made by every man and women. You see, whether it is you complaining, whether it is you crying, whether it is you, whatever we do so far. But the main thing we have to understand, if we are mature enough, is to realize that complaint or complaining about anything never fix anything. You see, except that it may make it worse. You see, go in time and see whoever ever complained about a problem that society face, and then they end up fixing it by the complaint alone, or screaming at the problem or something like this. Those are things of mindless behaviors, you see. Though we understand the cry of the heart because we are all one, we understand each other, you see, or except that some may understand others and others may not understand some, you see. So the highest among us is those that may understand everyone, because they understand themselves so well, you see. And these, to me, are the ones that should have a word. But just like if God didn't take the power and control people's mouth and tell you can speak and don't speak and allow everyone the free will to speak, so YouTube, so too, or every other platform allow everyone to have their voice. But once, they at some point they have to make sure to control a little bit to the best of their ability. Otherwise, it's going to be returning to them. See what I mean? That's how important it is to, to control the mouth, either by our own selves or having an authority on the outside of selves to do it for us. Because the mouth, most of us may be under the illusion that words don't create worlds, but the reality remains that it does. You see, that they do. So, the thing is, like, we see many try their best, you see, by crying, by complaining, but all that means is like they are crying for help. They may not be humble enough to say that they are, and they take their cry and make it seem like it's the solution. But in reality, crying or complaining is a cry in itself for help. That's the reality. So now, once you cry for help, the universe, as it's always ahead of you, or Great Mother, already have a solution for you. But the only thing is that the universe may bring you to the water, but the universe may not force you to drink that water, because free will is part of your game or something like that. And of course, the universe itself is not going to disrespect its own rules. You see? So the thing is like, that's why it's so important that we fall back on ourselves and realize our shortcomings and our weaknesses, so as we love to see our own strength, you see. So the thing is, many cry, like we say, many cry saying, okay, we're gonna basically try to, put things into a perspective where we say much with as few words as possible. But the book is coming out, you see, and where you can sit with it and savor the words and whatever is said in there. And let that be, my giving back to my world and my community. You see what I'm saying? My people. And you know what that means. You see what I mean? Those who deserve it so much, every one of you. So the thing is like basically is just great people that we revere. You see, they talk about it, they complain, they backstab, they do all sorts of things, but all we see as the compassionate that we're supposed to be towards each other is that we cannot help seeing it but as a cry, you see. So when they cry or when we cry seeking help and stuff like this, whether we come humbly or we come arrogantly, then we still have to help regardless because it's all God anyway. So the thing is somehow, what is the solutions or what are the solutions that we have had so far that we see and we can all see so far? Like we said, the cries, that's the only solution. We see some that some would say kill them all, and to those meaning, okay, let's say they would say, since we're talking about sexual healing and sexual energy, then we're gonna go wherever the sexual energies are right now, and we can say the gay community, the straight community, the transgender community, or the rapist community, or whatever we are facing so far. You see what I mean? With the sexual energy. And today, before we end our talk, we want to make sure that we all live on a common ground. So where everyone understand their own standing, and then also see where they can work together in bringing that solution about. Because it's not really for one person, it's everyone. Because when you're dealing with sexual energy, there's no separate. It's all one, you see? So the thing is like some would say kill. And at the same time, they will have their talk saying that, oh, the elite is bad for wanting to kill 90% of the population or whatever. But at the same time, when the problem comes to them and they cannot find solutions, they revert to the same solution that the elite said. So I'm only saying that to allow you to see yourself. Sometimes when you're mad at things, you're mad at something, you think you're separate from it. Yet the elite who's so patient, you know what I mean, and have no issue waiting, you see. So they'll just give you, okay, here's the problems. Okay, here are the problems, all right? We just do our best to hide from you because we know we don't want to get you crazy because your mind is so small. But when we come with a solution, we have to tell you about this solution. We cannot just do what we will. We have to tell you first, then go with it. But instead of you going with us, if you agree with it, or tell us the solution if you disagree, then you just cry, and then when we give you the problems and ask you for what you think is best, then you say the same thing we were saying in the first place. So you're not doing anything new. Because most of the people that are seeking to speak or whatever about those problems, the best they will tell you is kill. Kill the gays, kill the transgenders, kill the rapists, kill, the bloodthirsty monkeys out there. So what it is, what I do make you realize is that, okay, but that was the solution that the elite had in the first place. You see what I mean? So I thought you were against that killing situation. But in reality, it was just empty words, because when it comes to the reality, you don't say anything different except regurgitating the elite's words. So should we just continue acting like mindless monkeys and then making noise? Or should we realize that we have nothing new to offer and allow those who wish to have better solutions, but we cannot bring it because we are the one that should bring it, yet we're the one making noise and making worsen things or something further and pretending that we have something new to say or whatever. You see? So what I'm doing literally is to making sure to taking away that illusion of of innovation, of thoughts, illusion of power, illusion of you see, all of these type of self-deluded ideas or ideologies that we may have in our psyches make us realize that, so that we can sit down and let things be. Because Alan Watts himself, may he travel well, he said that the best the people can do, and he was speaking about everyone, even the elite included, is to just sit, and let the world fix itself. Because the only problem is that when we think we can fix things, we come and try to fix it. Then we further fuck it up, you see? But the best we can do, if we sit down, then we're gonna realize everything falls into place. Because the problems is not going automatically. It's just us doing it, making it happen. You see what I mean? But it's not something easy because we seek self gratification. Not that we give a fuck about anyone, really. Because in reality, let's keep it real, people. Everyone who ever come online saying, oh, the children are being raped, they're sold, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The next minute, call that booty call and come get some dick at home. Or vice versa. Or they would be like, oh, after I make some noise about the children, whatever, this and that, okay, I have a dinner to go with that girl, a date, whatever, and go laugh and completely forget. Because these issues are so grand or something and so complex that if we truly cared, we would never have a boner on over a girl, or a girl would never get horny next to a man, really. You see, you wouldn't have the capacity, the strength to do anything else in life because they will take all your energies away. This is why we say the ego is naked, you see. You can fool, you may fool people once, but you cannot fool them all the time. You see what I mean? So that's why we seek to first tame our own monkey selves, you see, to stop pretending. Because we take, the lessons from the musicians, the artists, especially those with Michael Jackson, may travel well, in We Are the World, when he say, should we go on pretending day by day? But most people don't get it. It's just they speak English, so they think they get it. They understood. Yet our lives dictate otherwise. You see what I mean? Because we do that well. We do that very well. That's why we call movements acting on earth in the game, right? We are acting. That's just what we're doing. But certain acts with the proper foundation or proper intention can dictate or create a ripple of change or something like this. But it does have to be will, you see, in order to have that sort of effect. So our job is to first not to only make you feel good by telling you how you should be in order to be effective, but first we have to take away the illusion. But we're only telling you about it, but you have to be willing to accept it as what it is. You see, that's the thing. You see, it takes acceptance. That's the door. Here's the door. But it takes you to walk through it. You see what I mean? And like the movie The Matrix say, we never said it was going to be easy. Or we can only show you the door. We can never make you walk through it. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. The best you can do is to be like me and know that we are a monkey and stupid and retarded. And the best you can offer is just what you're already offering, you see? But we have no reason to just keep on going pretending that it's all enough and that's all there is to life. Okay, go buy something, sell it to someone else, and go buy something for your house and sell it to someone, and what, those little miserable situations we are dealing with. And this is why it's only so much or so little to reality, you see? And every animal, from the worms to the apes, are doing the same thing. But if we are to be above them, so-called, then there's something more that is called of us, you see? And it's more than just eating, fornicating, or fucking each other brains out, or whatever we do on a daily basis. You see what I mean? And forgive my French. You see, I'm only speaking your language, so I'm sure you're okay with that. So, the thing is like, basically, reason I'm speaking this way is because of you. If it's the mirror, you see, it's you speaking to you. So, however you see yourself and you stand strong with the illusion, then of course it's gonna be painful to put down the illusion. You see what I mean? But if you already accepted this is an illusion, then it will not be a pain to you if someone just put the mirror in front of you. But first, before we can become the solution, we first have to accept where we are. And this is what that is. But it has no meaning or no intention to hurt or whatever. The pain is just with you and by you alone. You see? So the thing is like many would say different things. But at the same time, all they are doing, like Alan Watts said, is that they are making it worse. You see? Because many great men came and did their best. Yet we want to destroy them because of what they do. I understand certain artists came, they didn't do nothing for anyone. They didn't do anything for anyone except for themselves. Of course they did for everyone because they entertained everyone. But there are millions of entertainment or entertainers. So what is it really that you offer if entertainment is the only thing you use your art for? Have you given to people? Like certain artists will come, they make their money, of course, give you that entertainment back because it's not free, of course. They don't owe you nothing, you don't owe them anything. Of course, that's just the reality. But some came and turned their entertainment into something, heartful or mindful. Someone like Michael Jackson, for instance. He lives for people. They truly care about the world. That's why you can see that in his music. You see what I mean? Everything. He could have had the life of a king, really, though he did. But even more peaceful, really. Because when I say of a king, it's because the king, if you come to bring problems to the king have the gods that can just go in the face of everyone and then just cut your head off for disturbing his sleep or something like this, if you will. So, but at the same time, he was looked down upon, he was ridiculed, he was all sorts of things. But it's part of the game anyway, right? So what it is, we forget to see all the good that he was doing. And that's just one I'm naming because he's the most known, really. So the thing is like we seek to take away certain things, but not seeing that everything about the being is only the good is also to enjoy, and the bad is also a lesson to learn from, but not to destroy the being that came and be the purpose and live the purpose that they came to live. As hard as it is to do that in this life, you see what I mean? So now I'm gonna show us how much the more we talk shit and the more we worsen the situation. And we cannot only take the example of Michael Jackson or the music industry. Also in the spiritual industry, there's some great ones that have done great work. You see, men like Elijah Muhammad, for instance, where may he travel well, where he came and do so much great. You see, all of those men that were to be just pimps, selling their daughters, selling their neighbors' daughters, and doing those type of things just to eat, or doing certain things, selling drugs to their own families or in their own communities and destroying their brains and whatever. He take them and turn them into something greater. Yet we find the strength to go beyond all this good and then focus on the one little thing that maybe have happened. Where only when we do that, it's not because we understand what's going on, but because it is us who are the problem, who's judging, you see? Because the thing with sex is that we may have sex, but we have no idea what sex is, you see? And the powers of sex. And with that, we will find people just talking shit about Elijah Muhammad, you see? Saying, oh, he rapes young girls, he does this, he does that. But me, I couldn't really be quiet on that. Because really, I would be one who stand with those who are belittling his name, where he's done so much. Because in reality, I don't expect anyone to be perfect, because I am not perfect. So I have to be real with myself. And if I accept myself as not being perfect, then I only owe it to the next human being. And that's fairness, you see? And then we say that life is not fair. Yet we are the one who's not fair. Of course, you're not gonna see life as fair because you are life. The world will not be fair because you are the world. If you are not fair in the world, how could the world be fair? You see? And this is why we have to start learning for real. You see? And understand, open the eyes, open the ears, more than we open those little holes in our faces. You see? So the thing is, like, basically, it hurts. I realize that, okay, and then me myself, I run away from this responsibility over and over and over. Especially after I have a daughter. You see, after I had a daughter, it was the universe slapping me right in the face. Brah! You can no longer run. Now you have a daughter in this world. Are you gonna just go and live your life, make money like every miserable monkeys, and then die? Is that it? Or are you gonna do what it takes not to leave your daughter in the world like you see it? You see what I mean? And every father can vouch for what I'm saying. The fear, the level of fear I had in my heart the minute I realized I have a daughter in the world was unmatchable. You see, even my ex could tell you that I was scared. Literally, I was very afraid, because that's why you see many men may act tough, but all they ask for is a son. Because it's easier. Because the son, like I was telling my daughter yesterday while we were having a sexual conversation, I was telling her, you can see the woman as the car and the man as the driver. The driver, the reason the women always say, oh, why does men do certain things, and everybody look at him like, he got belts and he got respect for sleeping with so many women in the hood or whatever. But when the women do it, and then everybody look down on her. So I gave her the perfect analogy. I told her that, see the woman as the car. You see, the minute you take the car out of the lot, the values start going down. You see what I mean? But the one who takes the car out of the lot is the man, the driver. That's why the man gives the dick. You see, and the woman receives. So whoever enters is the driver, and whoever is ridden is the car. You see what I mean? So that's why it's so important for the women, to keep their sanity and sanctity and respect and self-respect and this and that, because you are the mother of those men. So you are the power. You are literally the universe embodied. So of course you have to be held up high. What men do, they may get away with it. Just like if someone of a slave child go and do certain things, nobody gives a damn. But when it's the king's daughter or the president's daughter, everybody was like, oh my God, because of the value. You see, men, what is the value of a man? Except that he's here to serve the women. That's all. That's the only value a man ever had. But the women are the true value. So of course, to denigrate that, to lose that value and fall from that grace, it's a very bad thing. It's a very low thing. But once we can really give them the proper example so they can understand themselves and who they are, they will be lost into the loud voices of, why can't I be like a man now? Why can't I this? Why can't I that? And this is not that I'm throwing at the lesbian ladies out there. I love the lesbian ladies. Really, before I even accepted gay men, I already was at peace with the gay women. Because I saw women as able to do everything. You see what I mean? They can't do anything or everything because men come from them. You see what I mean? So I didn't see mostly a problem with it. And that was me serving what you see today. That was my mistake in it, if we call it a mistake. Because I accepted the part and rejected the other part. That's why we all have to do the same. Because at some point in our lives, there was something we said or did that added to what we are living today. But the best we can do is to deny ourselves that truth, you see. And how can we heal if we are denying ourselves this very thing that can allow us to heal? That's what we are helping today. So the thing is, like, once I realized that, that's why to continue, it's not a that at the lesbian ladies, because women are very emotional beings. You see, they need love. They don't need anything more than love. You see, they need love. They need to be understood, heard, cherished, and all of that. That is their weakness or their strength or something. The weakness is the strength. You see. So the thing is, like, if the men were becoming more like bitches in a way, or whatever we can call it, you see, and seeking this, seeking that, seeking this, okay, wanna be rich, wanna be all of these things. Of course, they do it for the sake of the women, because really men don't give a damn about all these shiny objects, really. You see what I mean? But the thing is, like, because it's a thing of women. Women are the one who love, garnishment and beautify things. A man will walk around, never cut his toenails, never do this, never shave his armpits, never. You see what I mean? That's men. They don't really give a damn. You see? So as we are becoming more feminized and, caring about things more because we love women so much to the point where we become them, then the women that were losing certain touch, masculine touch. And then since the women is what gives life to all, then she had to become that love for herself. So that's where lesbianism come about. So they come because women were not being loved and whatever, the men were becoming so stupid and low lives and whatever. And then when the women come to give them love and whatever, they play the women's heart and whatever, chasing different skirts, and they're always thirsty or whatever. And women, they don't feel love from the men. So that's why women had to replace men to love women. You see, we all have to do with everything that's going on. That's why today we just taking away the illusion you have in your mind, so that you can literally with your words, since no one can tame your mouth, the best we can do is to teach you how to speak about certain things, you see, by first recognizing your own mistake in it, if it is a mistake. So the thing is, like, basically, to go back to it, the minute that was for my sister lesbians or whatever, beautiful ladies indeed, because they had to be, like I said. So the thing is, like, somehow, once I had the door there, because I was running away, because like Sevan once said that whatever you have to do, what I believe he had a show, and then somebody asked him, how do I find my passion or whatever, I'm supposed to be doing with my life? And then he said, whatever you see you doing all the time without being told is what it is. Because there's something that you always do. Whatever you end up doing, you end up going back to doing that. That's the very thing that you love, you enjoy, and that's where all your good's supposed to come from. Something you enjoy. No one tell you to do it except that you find yourself doing it all the time. And the sexual thing, since I was young, I was always sexually minded or open-minded to sex and whatever. That's why I said that when everybody was disrespecting gayism, I found a way to accept by first accepting the women's side of it. Because I always say, I don't care if my girlfriend is with a woman. I would enjoy seeing that. That was always my word when young. You see what I mean? When this type of talk come to me. But things like this was not so open. But it was to me because of who I was. Because I am here to heal the sexual situation or help heal the sexual situation. So sex is always going to be something presented. So what it is, it's like the more I live, the more I find that, I can't run, you see? Like to the point once I had the daughter and then I was afraid, so afraid to leave her in a world, you see, that is so perverted or something like that. So I was afraid to just do that. But I tried, the best I could do is run, right? I ran and go to the suburbs, you see, live where there's, the next house is, separated with either a bunch of trees or a bunch of walls or whatever. I mean, like our own prison, you see what I mean, or something like that. And then I ran into religion also, because religion, I know they suppress the sexual energy. Everybody, you better not be having sex except when whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because I kind of hide into that, you see, hide into religion and whatever I think was the solution. But reality always gonna face you in the face. It doesn't matter whatever you do. If it's not the answer, then it's gonna continue to show you. And if you keep on trying to neglect it, then it's gonna become worse and worse and worse and worse. And when I ran to religion, I don't want to run with it because there's a line to it, like what happens first and second and third. You see, so there's a step to the whole thing. But I don't know if I'm running because of, so we don't make this too long or whatever. So what it is, I was once you say okay, with a lot of people are talking. Once I say it's religion that is the solution, and I ran into it and then try to study religion and become that religion or whatever. And then I couldn't be the Christian because, okay, the Christians are already crying about a bunch of situation with the church and whatever and the children or whatever. So I say, okay, what else do I do? And then there's Islam, okay, maybe new, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, I'm a Muslim now, whatever. And then I embrace Islam and go, maybe that's the solution. But we are still suppressing sex even more, whatever. You see what I mean? But we're not learning from the old religion. But it's not their fault because whoever is to do the job only has to do the job. You see what I mean? It doesn't matter how many Muslims, how many Christians there are. If it's not their jobs to find that solution, they will not find it. You see? So the thing is, like, I ran to it, and then when I was in Long Island feeling safe and good among sisters, I can't even see their eyes, you see. But the more I couldn't see the sisters' eyes, the more of a freak I was becoming. And I was hating it, you see. Because before a woman can be next to me naked, and I really do not give a damn. But as a Muslim, I became such a freak that even the woman's toe will turn me on. You see, that's the problem with hiding, you see, or trying to, suppress the energy, something so powerful, you see. It's just the acceptance is the solution, not the suppression, you see. Because the more I do that, the more of a freak I would become. I would always have to fight myself and feeling like a devil really for even having sexual thoughts, you see. So something like that. But that was so sick. It's not really good to be that way. To be against your own nature is sick, you see. So what it is like once I found the illusion behind religion and stuff and hiding and whatever in Long Island and have my house and family, blah, 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 this and that. And I felt safe because the women are covered and my daughter's gonna be hiding behind covers too. But of course there's already a lot of problem because she has to fit in, she has to go to school, and there's this people, everybody's free to dress how they want, and she has to cover. And I'm, as the father, start becoming the enemy because I'm forcing her to be different. And where really is that really the difference we need or whatever? All of these things are facing me because the one thing I don't do is lying to myself. You see what I mean? I'm seeing it, analyzing it, seeing if it's working or not. You see, and I see that I can only depend on myself more and more. So what it is, one day morning, Sunday afternoon or Sunday or Saturday afternoon after work, and I went to my morning prayer, 5 in the morning or sometimes 4:30. Come back, sitting, watching some TV or whatever, sipping on some coffee or tea, whatever it is for the day, and the children will come and then they sit on your lap and enjoying, and then boom, wife would call, now ex or whatever would call and say, oh, check the news. And then check the news and what? Okay, the same masjid I go to or whatever, there would be the imam, I mean, it was all over the news, or they found with a boy in the closet or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So that dropped my heart, and then I bow to the universe, like, oh, please, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm not saying stop what's going on, what happened, but me, please stop showing me that I'm stupid for running away from myself. You see? So the thing is, like, that's the illusion I built for myself, and then this is what I saw on the news. I was like, oh shit. So that means that's not the answer. Because the suppression is never the answer, you see. Freeing is the answer, you see. So the thing is like once that illusion was destroyed, then that's when I started thinking for myself instead of seeking a solution outside of myself, because that was the last resort for me. You see, and then it is proven to me. That's why when you move fast, then the universe always move fast with you. The minute that you recognize, the universe recognize you have this stupid illusion going on for you that you're enjoying for yourself, then it doesn't take long to really destroy that and just drop it and flush it down to where it belongs. So the thing is like that's when I started, okay, going against the norm, going away from the current, being the fish that swim against the current, you see? Because I can no longer, pretend, you see, to be okay. And our world is okay, it's okay, it's all right. And we are our world. So that means the reason I would not blame the world and instead blame myself, and because I couldn't, obviously, is because people gotta understand. Since you may not, I don't want to say you're stupid, but you may not be able to see it, you see. But the best we can do is to show it to you. There is really, it's not, when we say as it is within, so it is without, it's not just English that sounds good. It's not a poem or whatever. It's the reality of the world, of our world or something, or well. If you see it on the outside, it's because it exists on the inside. But how do I make you understand that? Because the more you do not understand, the more you challenge my words, the more you will force me to explain to you where I shouldn't have to, you see? And the more we speak on things, we really not making it better, you see? That's why sometimes you just have to have faith. Specifically, that's why I spoke, allowing you, like reshaping your mind, you see? Healing it, so that you can understand without being told, because man knows not by being told. But the work is so important that we can stop whatsoever. You see, we just gotta do what we gotta do, and that's all of us. So the thing is like basically, you will find many, because I'm from a generation really, because that's why I say it was from the get-go that reality was showing me something wrong. Because me, who I truly am is someone who will not watch a movie, especially the Western movies like cowboys or whatever, because of rape in them. I recognize something in me that's so feminine. I was not gay, but I always hate when I don't mind seeing a woman being banged by 100 men, so long as she's willing to take those D's. You see what I mean? But if she's not willing, it doesn't matter if it's a little boy over her. I don't feel good with that. So that's one point. Secondly, it's literally that I come from a generation, that's why we have to be real with ourselves, where there was something in Haiti called Spanish fly. You see, many of the young kids, high school, whatever, will put this thing in the girls' drink and so that they can, have sex. That's literally rape, of course, you see. But these men today, of course, they will be the ones saying, making noise, of course. But the thing is, like, it's not just saying, okay, it's wrong, whatever. It's recognize yourself. Why were you acting this way? And once you recognize that, you have to accept yourself that way, and you have changed to becoming a father, whether it's that child that turned you to a father, a man now, not capable of raping anymore, whatever. Then you have to do that same work that you've done on yourself with those that may have been doing the same thing. But killing is not the solution. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But if it is your solution, then you are not bringing anything new, because that was the goal for centuries, you see. So the thing is, like, you will find the same men they used to give Spanish flies to the children, to the girls. They were, of course, young girls, whatever, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But we will grow. And that's why we say whatever is within is without. But have these men healed? Can we pretend to be healed? Or is it that same sickness inside our heart that we never go over? And now it is time that we graduate towards higher being, which is we have to literally leave the lower three realms that we've been living on, based solely on survival or corporations, whatever. And then now gravitate towards the heart, where man meets God. You see, the chambers of the heart. But you cannot fool yourself. You cannot fool the Lord of the underworlds. You see, you have to really deserve that to grab to go beyond. You see, that's why. But the healing must happen before you can go to the heart realm. That's why many people will want to judge, blah blah blah, but they don't understand the reality. If you're already in the heart, living in the heart, or you even surpass that heart, because from the heart everything now starts getting easier and easier and easier to go beyond. That's the main thing for the planet right now, is to go through that heart. But it takes willness. It takes, ingenuity. It takes whatever it takes that is of the virtues that we can offer ourselves. You see, but you can't fool the world or the gods or the gatekeepers or something like that. The minute you see the being pass through the heart, then really judgment of men need not apply. Because where we can fool men and women on the planet, we can never fool ourselves. If we can't fool ourselves, we cannot fool the gatekeepers, we cannot fool the gods. You see what I mean? That's the reality I want you to understand. And this is why we say it's really not about you or what you do or whatever, but how real are you with yourself? How honest are you with yourself? And how have you accepted? And whatever you do you accept? Would you allow yourself, how you call that, forgiveness by knowing the intention? You see, because actions is not without intention. You see, so it's now the intentions of what we do that's gonna dictate if we're gonna pass through or not. And if the intentions cannot allow us, then the best thing that's gonna come now is how honest we are with it. The honesty is what the church or the religious corporations will call repentance. You first must repent, which is like you done it and you will never do again or whatever, blah blah blah, and then you may be allowed to pass, depending on how you see, on how truthful you are in your words, because it's all about vibration. That's why you can't fool the gods or the universe or the gatekeepers. You may hide your true intention behind beautiful words to men and women who's stupid and retarded, but when it comes to the gods and the gatekeepers, they're not listening to your words. You may not even say a word, but with your vibration alone, they know if you shall pass or not, because it's all about frequency matching, really, when it comes to these worlds. So that's why I want to make sure to take away your doubts and take away your illusions, so that to make the path easier for you, so that you may start working on yourself for real. You see, because I'm the type of person, I don't see the need to say anything unless it's something that has not been said before, or if it can really help people. You see, that's just who I am and who I aspire to be, and that's what we should all be. So the thing is, like, and when I come on this side of the US as well, no children as of yet, meaning I am that 0 point. I can be whatever I want to be, that rapist, that this, that, you see. But at the same time, I see it's not different from what it was in Haiti than it is here. When I come on this side, I may not have seen the children running train like we do, whatever, all the time. But I come on this side, I was exposed to the train on the girls. But the girls, of course, they accept it sometimes they don't. We run trains and whatever, misusing the sexual energies, because we are a bunch of children with a bunch of parents who are living a lie with themselves. So of course those children gonna embody these lies and continue the sickness and become worse and worse. Yet the best we do to these children is to disown them. Oh, you stupid, you this, or whatever, blah blah blah. But forgetting that we give birth to these children. I mean, they're literally the seed from the tree, because the apple does not fall far from the tree. We only think there's a difference between the apple and the tree, but we have to realize we are literally retarded to think so. You see what I mean? Nothing happens. Thank you. Definitely, you see? If there's an apple, there has been a tree. An apple tree at best. You see what I mean? So the thing is like basically running trains, doing this, doing that. Oh my goodness, the sickness continues. So now, is that the way life supposed to be? I ask myself. Oh, that's why I said I never really believe in love. It's not because I chose to, because of the way I see reality. What is love? You see what I mean? And that's why I always run away from getting married. Oh, but of course, I love to love a woman, you see? But what's the point when I see what I'm seeing or something like that? You see what I mean? So I was so many questions, but no one to give these answers. And the best answer we had is it's either to disown, curse, kill, or run towards religion to suppress. You see? But none of them really work. You see? Obviously not, because things only get worse. And really the best we can offer thus far is talk shit about it, which is beautiful. Because in religion itself, or Islam specifically, it is said that faith is of 3 degrees, really. The smallest faith is to hate it in your heart. That's the weakest, that's for the cowards. You don't say what you believe, you just keep it in your heart and hate it there. And the second to that is to, what would I say? It's to speak about it, the cheapest. You see? Speak. That's why many people do say talk is cheap. They are will. What they say is, that's why we have to learn not to just say it's wrong, because whatever is wrong is right. Somewhere. You see what I mean? So that's why you don't just say from now on that, oh, that's not. Look where it fits and where it belongs. Because yes, don't just say, oh, that's not true. Talk is not cheap. Talk is cheap. At time. It may not be for everything. You see, because certain things you cannot do, like let's say with such action, we talk, but the talk is something that has to do with actions, you know, dark actions or whatever it is that you have to go through hell to get that light, that wisdom. That's why the talk is not cheap. It's still talk, but it's based on whatever you went through. You see? But when it comes to corporations, this and that, whatever, building this and that, talk is different. You can talk. There may not be as much issues. But when it comes to spirits and being, then talk is indeed cheap. You see? So the thing is like basically, I realize, okay, what do we do? Like, is that what life's supposed to be like? And what's that? You see what I mean? So, but if your heart is pained by it, then of course it's not what it's supposed to be. Of course, sometimes we are pained by the very thing that can help us, just like the medicine, which is truth. We may stand against it because it doesn't feel good. Pain doesn't mean it's an enemy, you know what I mean? It only shows a problem, you see? But the thing is like we realize it pains us, but is it paining us, because we have to do something about it, or is it paining us because it's just bad, it's just pain, or you see, or it's not, or whatever. So now we had to weigh in the reality to see, okay, the relationship between the girls, the boys, the this, the that, and what's going on. And also realizing the parents that are cursing them and then disowning them or whatever, giving them away to the jail system or whatever as their solution, the best they can offer. But at the same time, we cannot, fail to see or to understand that it is also the parents, that brought about those type of children as well. You see, there's no disconnection in reality. But of course, the parents can do the best they can to just say, oh, I'm not no fault with that, because this is the weakest thing we can do if we are weak beings. Because when you are weak, you don't accept your responsibilities or your faults. You just cover them, you see. So the thing is like, but the worst is not to cover your weakness or whatever, but it's to cover it and pretend to be strong. That's the wrong. That's why we always have to speak the full thing, the 360 degree of things. You see, otherwise we're gonna leave too much room for error. You see, so that, and these times there's no room for error. It's either we got it or we don't. You see, so the thing is like basically, it's just that I had to stop running. You see, like I went from later to after whatever. But you see, some movies do the same. Maybe it's not wrong. Some movies start from the end to the beginning, whatever. So I gave you when I became Muslim. Before I gave you when I was a young child in Haiti growing up, which would be the first, and the next thing it would be to come to this side of the Americas and stuff like this, and then continue on into the religious whatever. That's the normal, chronological order that I was supposed to start first. But since I didn't write anything except that this is matter of heart, so I allow the heart to speak freely and stuff like that, right? So however he presents it, take it like that. Maybe that's the way we're supposed to hear it. But the thing is, like, basically, once I stop trying to be fake or trying to play games with myself, especially in the lives of a daughter or something like this whom I cherish, and which is the most precious gift the universe may ever offer a man. So the thing is, like, it's now worth it to do the work. You see, you're now willing to go with it, to go through it. But you understand the ramifications. You understand that you are dealing with a society who is so fake that they may not accept it themselves. So, but at the same time, you have to get stronger to the point where thou I dare anyone to mess with who I am today. So what it is like, because whatever you're doing, if it's not for you, if it's not for yourself, then the whole universe conspires and come behind you. That's why I tell everyone, all your ancestors are behind me, because whatever I'm doing is for them as it is for me, as it is for you. Because we're not really speaking about, like, because we need a dollar. Obviously not. You see what I mean? But of course, like Calvin would say, it's like, you have to find a way to balance things, like your calling, and then allow it to bring back revenue, because you can't just live and give these monkeys things and then not expect that they can have a return. Yes, you depend on the universe, whatever, blah, 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 but we are the universe. Macrocosmic to the macrocosmic. So God doesn't do except through men. The universe does not move except through men. So if there's a return, it starts from men, because whatever you're doing is not really for the universe, though it is, ashe, 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 but it is men that is to benefit. So of course they have to we start respecting the 7 hermetic principles, so we reciprocate or whatever for your own good. So what it is like, basically I realize, okay, so once you have the daughter, then now, just like every other man had to change and have more respect for women from then on, because the universe know exactly what's needed. You see, most of those fathers, they were fathers that used to mistreat women or whatever. Some of them may not change because the reality is a multifaceted reality. Of course, there's gonna be a piece of everything. Those who may not change, those who do change, and those who are to change. But of course, change is life. So you're gonna change one way or another, whether you do it the hard way or the easy way. You see what I mean? But it really does not take any men to come and do whatever. Blah, blah. It's gonna happen. It may take men, but it's gonna happen with or without men. You see what I mean? The universe don't need a judge to do its bidding, really. Except that the judge may be the one that needs to judge itself or change its own self, so that it stops being the pawn in the game that is creating the problem itself, you see? So the thing is, like, basically, we see all these men, we all were young, stupid, retarded, doing all sorts of things to each other, you see, disrespecting women, doing all those sort of things. But to us, we think, okay, we out of it now, we're grown, we have a daughter, we change, we better. But now, yes, that may be true, excuse me. But how about what we used to do? The continual effect that it's having in the universe, because the universe is so vast that every word echoes infinitely. Every action and words, are nothing but actions themselves. So it echoes forever. So how are we gonna create another ripple that's gonna undo or swallow that report that we put forth prior or something like this? Or are we going to continue to pretend to be good so that the world is already good too? Because when we truly are good in and out, then it's going to show on the outside of the world, you see? Because as it is within, so it is without. And so this is why we want you to understand that you have to go within yourself. Not within the other man self, but within yourself. That's where the power lies, yourself. Whatever you were doing before, whatever you're doing now, which is the best, is lying to yourself or pretending to be perfect or holy or whatever it is. But that's not going to help whatsoever. We're saying this to you with the most humility, you see, and the most love. So the thing is like basically, it is to go within oneself, go within one heart, meditate, and see what have we done in the past, you see. What have we done with our time, with ourselves, that's causing this ripple in the timeline or something, giving us that problem to deal with today. And the minute that you are real with yourself, you pose the question and then the answer shall unfold. If it is not from this podcast today, then it will come from your own soul. You see what I mean? But in reality, we have to literally open up to it by first accepting our own wrong. It is, trust me, I understand how good it feels to be, with no blemish, with no guilt whatsoever, you see. But before you can go through the heart, the sexual energies or the sacral chakras, what caused the black in it is one of that is guilt, see. So first you have to get rid of that guilt, whether you have it openly or not openly. But until you get rid, like I just gave you the solution, which is through either by telling the universe of your intention, you see, so that, because sometimes we hold guilt on things that we shouldn't, like some black girls, so for lack of better word, have a guilt for having kinky hair. Is it a true guilt, or is it a guilt based on what they understand about themselves? Some guilt really have no basis except miseducation, you see, but some guilt do have basis. So you have to go within yourself to find out that guilt. And the way you heal that guilt is, or release it, is by being true to yourself. You don't owe anyone honesty but yourself, because no one can save you or can break you but yourself. You see what I mean? You are your greatest enemy. So the thing is, like, you just go through yourself, literally, open that heart, or go in time, travel back, and then see where it is that whatever you see today that you are blaming everyone but yourself for, and see what have I done or said. Because word, like I say, in being, words are the most powerful thing, more than doing. When you are dealing with corporation and slaves and masters or whatever, doing is more than words. You have to do it, you see. But when you are dealing with being, physicality has less potency, you see, where the words are more powerful than the action themselves. Because there's different aspects of life, you see, and where it applies in one world or one realm, it may not apply in a different world. Certain words you say, sometimes you wanna, since you have no idea what you're talking about, you only repeating words that you read or something, then you will say these words since it works for the corporation or words and stuff like this, and you're like, okay, action speaks louder than words, or blah blah blah, and then you think it applies for spiritual as well. But once you are changing world, you have to change words. You see what I mean? Because they are different. So the thing is like basic, but we do hear you, we understand what you're trying to do or trying to say or whatever, because really, once you understand who you are, then there's no explanation needed, you see, for anything. Everything is just plain, bare, you see, it's open. But our job is not to just call you on your bullshit. We don't do that. Do it to yourself, because when we do it to you, we need some healing ourselves. Because it's only something you did to us that has not been healed, and then we want to hurt you back, whatever we say. But the more you are healed, the less you want to hurt others, you see. Instead, you only hurt when you have to. But the best you do is to take the bullshit or the negativity or something like this and then transform it into love and return it back to them. But if they are hateful being, toxic and stuff like this, of course they're gonna take that love and keep on turning it to toxicity and throw it back again, because that's who they are. They are toxic in the reality. But the best you can do is to be impatient and keep on transforming the toxicity into. And this is why our slogan or motto on this podcast is what? When toxicity comes your way, sprinkle some love on that shit. You see what I'm saying? And we know why we say that. So the thing is what? It's to accept within one's heart our own fault. And this is the repentance starting, you see. If the intention is not enough, because the intention is your problem, you had the wrong intention for doing the right action or something like that. Because what is right, what is wrong, you see. One man's terrorist is another man's hero. So those things are very deep. I know you speak English. I know you heard me. But do you understand me? You see? So the thing is like basically, once your intention is not enough to let you through, then now you have to go to repentance. You see? So now you accept that you had the wrong intention, also the wrong action. You see? So what it is that you now accept that, the acceptance, because it's half of the word, and then now it's half of the action needed to the universe. And then now with your, what you call it, honesty behind it, now bring you to that vibration that will allow you to pass. You see, there's no faking it, there's no fooling anyone on that level, because you literally going through the gates of God or something like that. The heart, you gravitating higher now. But now majority of us are on the level, you see, like naturally or truthfully on the 3 lower realms. You see, of course we know of the higher realm, but we are not there, because once we're there, you will start seeing the difference in our words and action, what we choose to say, what we choose to forgive, what we choose to let to whatever. It's gonna be in our action. You see what I mean? Because this is who we are. You see what I mean? But we, through the intellect, we are in the heart. We are beyond the heart, whatever. But through the mind or the intuition, we're not. And this is why we need teachers still, because once you know yourself truly, then what is a teacher for? You see what I mean? That's why we just gotta understand how it works. You see what I mean? So that we can, because once you think you're fooling, it feels good to fool those who are fools. But when you think you're fooling someone who is not a fool, then you will end up being the fool. And he hurts us. Like I said, once you are being it, then he hurts you more than the fool itself. So now you cannot help but feeling bad for that fool who think he's fooling you or something like that. It's a painful journey for you to be among those who are fooling each other or something like this. You see what I mean? Because in reality, you don't need any explanation. You don't need anything except that you see the ego for what it is. You're not looking at the mask or at the clothing or whatever. You're just seeing the spirit for what it is. The best, you see, even sometimes we even say it in the dating game, that sometimes you see a girl looking so cute and whatever until she opens her mouth, right? The men do say that all the time. So once you are gravitating towards the higher realm where the gods reside among us and stuff like that, so now since we don't tend to judge people, there's no need to judge because it's plain to see. But since we don't judge, yet we just listen to your words. So now your words alone tell where you are. You see what I mean? We don't need to ask. We don't need to check. We don't need to spy. We don't need to do none of that, what you're doing to each other at the moment. Because just let you speak. Because what is the voice? The voice is not for the body. The voice is the voice of spirit. You see what I mean? It's spirit coming through the vocal cords. You see what I mean? It's nothing else. So of course the spirit's gonna tell who it is and where it's at, whether we try to embellish these words or not. You can only fool the fools like yourselves, but not those who are not fools. That's what Bob Marley said. What? Bob Marley said, you can fool the people sometimes, but you may not fool the people all the time. You see what I mean? That's why I realized the artists, they had so much wisdom. Like, that's why they were artists. That's why they were so famous. So, you know what I mean? I tend to not listen to words much because I have just focus on the vibration of the song and enjoy that. You see, and then mumble the words and say my own words through the sound and whatever, but never really listen. But lately, I find myself listening to the words more and more, and I'm realizing it's like the artists were beyond their time. The artists, even I can say a few, like Pink, Sister Pink, like Katy Perry, and you see Bob Marley and Prince and Michael Jackson and Lenny Kravitz and Bono, and these artists, they know certain things. They know things. They're not just little monkeys who was just they've been there, done that. You see, this is not their first lifetimes. You see, that's why they're ahead of the game. You see what I mean? So I start paying more mind to their words, you see, because and I'm realizing how much it fits into my own reality, like to the point where sometimes I'm listening to their words, it's so they fit so much that it's like they're speaking literally to me directly. Like, what the fuck? You see what I mean? I listen to certain them, like, why does it sound like they're talking to me? You see what I mean? Like, it's like they're watching my life also for some reason. You see? So now I listen more and more and more and more and more and more. Because those lyrics, you see, I don't listen to lyrics because I expected them to sound stupid or whatever. But then I see, like, what? There's nothing stupid about these lyrics. The only stupid is me thinking that those lyrics are stupid. You see what I'm saying? Yes, of course, there may be stupid monkeys singing, but not all. You see? That's why we can't put everyone in one basket, because they're singing. Oh, you did that, so you sang, then you must be stupid in this time. No, it's not like that. It's more complicated than that. You see? This time now is for the mature only. That's why amongst us are those, who made it, who are on time or ahead of time. You see? So each one teach one. So we have to literally, hold each other's hand. You know what I'm saying? So those who understand that are ahead of their time, they hold the hands of those that are on time, because that's what close to them, that's what they can reach without confusion, mainly. And then those who are on time can easily level with those that are behind time. Why? Because even those that are ahead of time cannot be fooled whatsoever. It doesn't matter what's going on with the AI situation, where you cannot fool those that are ahead of time. But those that are on time can be fooled, because they may be on time through the intellect, not through intuition. You see what I'm saying? So they can still be fooled. So that's why those that are ahead of time may hold their hands. But they have to be willing, though, to get ahead of time. But if they already think they know, okay, I've made a life for myself, people pay me to listen to me, I have a great platform, whatever, they're good, then they are a mistake to be known on themselves, you see? Because really the game goes on. It's not really, oh, I made it and I'm done. There's nothing more. Don't be that fool. You see? Always be open to learn, so long as you're breathing. So it's just to know and to be smart and wise enough to know who to listen to, who's capable of guiding you. But we always need guidance, you see? And those words you're listening to are not regurgitated words, obviously. But still, I listen to people, except that I know who to listen to. You see? That's why I'm not afraid to watch any movie, listen to anything, 5G, 10G, whatever it is, cannot faze me. Because I'm beyond, I'm ahead of time. You see what I mean? So the thing is like, but at some point, you're gonna worry about all that. You see what I mean? Because of where you put yourself. You see what I mean? So the best you can do is to always be open, be vulnerable at all times, because there is power in vulnerability. And Alan Watts said also that people think vulnerability is a weakness, but not understanding the weakness is the power at the same time. There's no this one on one hand and the other hand is the other. It is one that have two sides to it. The weakness is not weakness, except that it is a side of strength. And strength is not strength, except it is a side of weakness. That's why even the United States as a nation, as great as it is, if it does not learn from the mistake of the old nations, who's no longer amongst us as power, then it is the greatest threat against its own self. You see what I mean? Because the same man or king who has the guns and this and that to do anything, as big as they are, cause the biggest threat to themselves. Because their own soldiers they rely to fight their wars may turn against them. You see what I mean? That's the weakness. That strength becomes that weakness. But it's only how you deal with these soldiers now that's going to dictate if they're going to stay behind you or not. And how you deal doesn't mean you keep giving them money and whatever. Nah. Because you can be giving them money. What if they don't want to take money no more? They want to be the one with the upper hands now. They don't want to be receiving no more. The ego is never really small. You always want more. So there's more to winning than just the physicality of it. You have to really worry about the spiritual aspect, which is the strongest part of it. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like literally, it's just that, you see, I just couldn't lie to myself any longer. You see, I had to be real. I had to keep it real with myself. Because if there's any honesty that is owed, it's not owed to the fake hypocrites amongst you or facing you or judging you. It's only owed to you. That's why it is important. That's the only place it means something. You see what I mean? You don't need to be honest with anyone because it's really no one's business. That's why people understand darkness is something that you need to share with hypocrites in order to pass through the gates of the heart. No. Darkness is not to be shared. The light you gather from the darkness is to be shared. Because everyone's darkness is unique to themselves. You see? So now the light that they bring is only that light that they share, they shine upon someone else's darkness so that they may see their ways through their own darkness. But it's not the darkness that's going to help. Because that's why every time we go into darkness or whatever, the beings we see in the darkness scare the shit out of us and we run away. We never know what to expect in the darkness. So it's only the fool that seek to understand others' darkness by running away from their own. Because there's nothing there for you except confusion. And maybe you may never find your way back to yourself again. You see what I mean? You have to be real and stop hiding from your own darkness and then face your own darkness. And allow yourself to take the light of those who've been through their own hell and darkness and take that light, you see, and then shine some light upon your darkness. Because your darkness serves you so that you can have your own light and thereby becoming an angel yourself or an angle of light yourself. But the animal instinct of ourselves always want to hide the dark part and fear the dark side of self. And therefore, since that just because we do that, we are able to do lie to ourselves and stuff like this by being weak spirits and stuff like this, demons or whatever it is. Then we seek to destroy other beings using their darkness because we seek to go and dig their darkness and do that, and then you see what I mean, or whatever. But the more you do that, the more you create chaos in the world, because that's not how it really works. Life is not about living your own life, dark or light, and then go digging someone else's, because really you have nothing to do with that person. You have nothing to do in there. That's not your home. And you may disrespect the home, the buildings that surrounds that being, and not get something worse happen. But you cannot disrespect the temple of God. It's a whole different level of disrespect. You see, the temple. I mean, most of us monkeys think that it's the temple is the building we build. Like we say, oh, what have you built? Meaning of concrete or whatever. But the greatest temple that God resides in is not the building that the monkeys are saying, what have you built? It is the temple that was built without hands. You see? with words alone. Kun fayakun, be and it is. Too great to have been built with monkey hands. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is like basically is just somehow we just gotta understand that it really that's what the Quran itself say, the great book. You see, it's a book that in Surah what's the name of the Surah? Kaf. It is, I believe, where it says that it is a book that seek to give you all teachings. Once you have this book, you may not need any other. And in this book, he said what? He said that I forgot the point I wanted to make or something like that. But it is in the Quran, it is literally said that, you see, but what's the context I'm looking for, you see? But, it'll come back because I try to, explain before I say it, how it is, and I end up losing the thought. So the thing is like basically it's just the way it is, you see, and even the scriptures even tell you that it's not really about spying or digging on people's dirts, and that's why Muji himself said something that was so deep the other day, and he said, and it's something I really realized myself, but I never really make the connection in real life, because when I have a dog, and I even tested it that same day. When I have a dog or a cat or something like this and I'm pointing, and even a new baby too, I realized that yesterday. When you are showing the baby pointing at your finger, showing the baby something, the baby keep on staring at that finger. You never really look at the thing you're pointing at, but except at the finger. And this is what Muji said. And this is what the wise is. To be wise is to say things that you cannot reject. It's in your face every day. It's just, but you just don't know, You see what I mean? Muji said that when you point at the lion doesn't look at what you're pointing at. It looks at the finger that is pointing. That's why once we understand these natural laws in nature, then we will not waste our time doing things that's going to create the wrong reality for us in the future or something like that. It may seem good to do. You see? But let's see the reality, because that's nothing new. We've been pointing fingers. We've been doing all these things. We've been killing one another. But is the reality any better? Or is it only getting worse? So what does it say? It says you need to change that mindset, that animalistic mindset that's been looking good to us. But the only reason it's looking good is because we don't evolve. We're still beasts. We're still animals. And this is why they used to make me think bad with the words by saying the sleeping beast. Oh, black people, they see us as the sleeping beast, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's not really about color. It's about you being a human being. In you is the beast and in you is the God. Yet it's easier for you to gravitate towards being that beast when you wake up than to become that God. So of course it's something that has yet to be seen. Like, what are we expecting when that beast wake up? Meaning that veil is lifted, the reality, the apocalypse, whatever, and then the beast, whatever. You see what I mean? Then what are they gonna do? First, they're gonna blame. They're gonna get doing right now with every situation and sexual situation as well. But so therefore, of course, I have to call you, even force you to look at yourself. You see? Because we do need the healing more than we need you getting mad in your pants and stuff like that. You see what I mean? We do need the healing. But we will allow you to talk as much as you want if we knew something new was coming out of that. You see? But we just only repeating the same old patterns when it's a new era of time. You see what I'm saying? So what would we be if we want to allow you to waste your time repeating something that's not going to apply to a new day or something like that? First, we got to teach you to be a new being, to think new thoughts. You see, to be pioneers once more, to be at a 0 point again. Shout out to the zeros. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. Of course, You're gonna judge this, judge that, or whatever, but you have to remember, in science, that's why I love scientists and stuff like that. I'm not saying they're perfect, but they can become greater scientists so long as they pass through the lower three bestial realms. You see what I mean? They can create even greater things. They think they're creating right now. They're not. Yeah, any beast. Oh, trust me. You see what I mean? What you're capable of as the God self. The beast yourself can never even fathom that. You see what I'm saying? So if you are in awe of the creation you're having now, imagine what's awaiting you as creators if you allow yourself to go beyond the animal self. You see what I mean? So the thing is, like, basically, it's just that it feels good to look, because a man always wanna be worshipped, revered, like I'm better, I'm holier than thou, or whatever. This is our weakness. We wanna come out and show that if we come in plain sight and say we against it, then people gonna think we better than those that are doing it. But the reality is facing those that are not asleep, because we see there's a show on TV, on Netflix. You see, because Hollywood is so powerful with the truth. You see, so there's a show. Literally, I think it's a Marvel piece or something. I don't know if it's the Iron Face or if it is Luke Cage or which one of them, you see. But in one episode of these shows, Willie, there's the children, you see, that were being sold in the market, projecting something that's happening, because that's what art does. Art shows you your world, so does art show you the world that can be too if you do something else. So as they were showing the world, like the children being sold on black market, whatever, around the world for whatever reason, so they show the philanthropist that everyone worship, saying, "Oh, they're so good. They help children. They have big orphanage, helping the young girls, I mean, who lose their parents or whatever, blah blah blah." But they were the same hands again that were selling the children as well. You see, that's what the show shows. That's why we learn to not just trust the words. You see. Because of course we wanna look good with, because that the darkness, because something gotta be done with these children. Why? Because we cannot just say a word like, "Oh, it's wrong to do that," and think that's it. I'm not saying that to blame the philanthropist, but I'm saying how we all have to do the work. We can't leave it up to a few human beings to take care of these children, when in reality ourselves, all we wanna do is just say a few words and go back to our daily lives and think we've done our part. You see what I mean? And then after, when they have too many children to deal with, they had to find a way to deal with these children and end up selling them or whatever for miserable gain. And then we can point fingers, but when we're going to stop pointing fingers? You see what I mean? When we're going to stop being mad? When we're going to stop sounding good? You see? It's not that we don't appreciate, but is it really to appreciate or to be appreciated and then the work is done? You see what I mean? It's still there. But yet it takes certain courage to face the storm. You see? Face it and become it, so that you can find the solution, find the light to cure it. Because the reality remains that the cure lies within the disease itself. You see? So it's all about courage. Do you have the courage to face that storm? You see? So that you can bring the need, or to tame, or the dire thirst, you see, for the cure or something like that. But of course, we always, as empty as our words are and our actions, we always gonna come and present the problem to the solution, because we are seeing the solutions through some sort of perverted minds. Why our minds are perverted? It's because we keep lying to ourselves, and the more we lie to ourselves, oh, I don't have any darkness, I'm just light. I don't have this, I'm just that, fooling ourselves. And then thereby becoming more perverted and more toxic. But of course, we know how to play ourselves. We know how to pretend. That's the best we do when we're weak. You see what I mean? But the reality is not about pretending. It's not gonna heal anything. It's just gonna make it worse. Because as we allow the wounds to go, and by only putting band-aids with the fakeness and all this nonsense we do on the daily basis, making noise or whatever, then the wounds keep on getting infected and getting larger and larger to the point where you may have to cut off the whole arm, which is what the elite already thought in the first place. But in the end, what is the noise when they put you against your own words? Okay, I hear your noise, so what's the solution? Kill these motherfuckers. But that was the first solution that we say. Once you say it's wrong, I was with you. I'm with you. Like, okay, yeah, I don't see why we should kill people. 90%, oh my God, what is our world if we, okay, who is an artist if there's nobody to be in awe to her voice and her work? Or something like that. Who is a corporation if there's no workers? Who is this if there's not that? You see? So, because I'm looking at the full picture. I don't want us to take away things and then find out. You see what I mean? I want to see the full thing. You see what I mean? So, but the thing is like, we're not seeing it. You see what I mean? So that's why we said, okay, once you speak, we have to become more courageous and then bring the answers about, because answers always exist even before the problem, you see. But the thing is like, is there any real men with real balls, not the ones that's just saying words and making noise and further the sickness, but doing the work regardless of what people may think or do or whatever, still do it. Just like Jesus himself in his time, we were lost. We lost ourselves. We thought we were just slaves of whatever force that was enslaving humanity at that time. But he came and said, you more than just that. Ye are gods. Ye are children of God. Psalm 82:6, right? So what it is, it's like, okay, and then blasphemy was the reverberation, was the counter word or something like that. Kill this motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? But 2,000 years later, as we move, we understand that yes, it is indeed true. Because we've been slaves all along, yet we never satisfied. So there must be more to us than just monkeys running amok. You see what I'm saying? So now we worship the motherfucker. Forgive my French. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So we have to learn from our past. The only reason you revisit the past is to see where you went wrong. Any other reason is just you wasting yourself, wasting your time. You see what I mean? Learn from it. Did you do this, what you're doing today, talking shit? Except that it's worse now because there's some great creators that create platform to give you a voice. But is that voice empty or just retarded? You see? Because some already did the work. They give you the platform to share your uniqueness, to share that pioneering thought. But is it regurgitating old patterns of the old mind that we have to run away from now in these days? Because the past awaits us in the future. You see what I mean? So that they know what to do when they are presented with that future. But we're not gonna help if we just regurgitating, repeating. See, because the life is not simply circular or cyclical. There's also a spiritual aspect of it. Yes, repeating certain patterns, revisiting certain past or whatever may apply, but not all the time. At times we have to respect the cyclical aspect, or not the cyclical, yes, the cyclical. Also, though, we have to respect the spiritual aspect. It's not one without the other. We have to have all of it together. You see? That's what it is. So we're not saying not to talk, speak your mind, show us where you stand, or whatever. The platforms are there for that. You see what I mean? And we thank everyone who has ever created platform. And I always make the thanking you, the people that brought these platforms about. We thank them. You see, but forgetting is what I use myself to come to you live. So shout out to OBS and the people behind that. And all the great platforms like OBS. But OBS is the shit. And you know why. Once we understand life, we're gonna see that. You see what I mean? Because what is fame except that people just enjoy your words, your voice, your art, whatever it is. So is it up to you? That's why most people that end up being famous never really wanted to be famous in the first place. And those that want to be famous are so empty that they never end up getting famous, except that sometimes they may manipulate them for certain miserable agendas. Because the reality has all things. It's 0.0. You can do whatever we want with it. But so long that you become that toxicity, then someone is going to use it for something else. So the best we can do is to do the work. And that has nothing to do with judging someone else or doing this, doing that, wasting yourself, thinking you're doing something, adding further the problem and stuff like that. That's why the movie Matrix is so great. I watched this movie so many times I can't even count. And I keep telling you that part, which is the part that humanity needs to focus on. You see, the only part, really, to tell you the truth, that you need. There may be other parts, but you're not ready for. But the one that you need for the moment is when the oracle said to Neo, and yeah, then don't worry about that vase. And Neo turned around and said, what vase? And knock off the vase and break it. And then the oracle say, that vase. And he was like, but how did you know that I was going to break the vase? And then she's like, but would you have broken it hadn't I said it? You see what I mean? That's the part I keep repeating to you so that you can get something out of. Because I cannot tell you what to see. I can only show you how to see. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, I don't want to fuck up your game for you. Because there's no glory in it if you didn't do it yourself. Of course, people can help you. But if they show you, oh, show me because you're weak. Oh, Jesus, show me miracles. Oh, Muhammad, show me miracles. So weak. You cannot see without seeing. You see what I'm saying? And the more you show, the worse you do. You make things. Because now you weakens the other being. You literally paralyze them. Because now they depend on you to show them more and more and more. You see what I mean? That's why we can't blame them for doing the miracles you ask for. They need you to trust them. They need you to understand. Because without them, you cannot go beyond. But at the same time, they know you present the problem to yourself by wanting to see all the time. We learn to see without being shown. So that's why the greatest thing for you now is not to ask to be shown, but ask how to see. But we want to be shown so that we can go and pretend that we know how to see. It will never work. You will end up showing you a fool in the end because you can people sometimes, but you may not fool the people all the time. And that's the reality. So that's why most people will say, oh, whatever, blah, 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 thinking they can run away. Oh, I don't want to make a fool of myself. And they pretend to always know what they're doing, or always in life. I never, blah, blah, blah. No. Like myself, I learned that. That's why I move the way I move. I know what to sacrifice. I know what to leave alone. I know what to take with. I know whatever. That's knowing self. You see, you have to know what you're doing. You see? So the thing, most people will see that as weakness. Oh, look, he's living his business or whatever, blah, 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 moving with that. Blah, blah. No, you never leave anything except that you prioritize what comes first in your life. And it's different for everyone. It all depends on what's your goal, what's your aspiration, what do you inspire to be. What piece of the puzzle you want to fulfill. What do you want to bring to the planet? You see what I mean? To the people. Who are you? You see, it's all depend on that. then you find that you cannot follow the masses. You have to be your own path, because every path is different. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, basically, it's just that you will leave that, then people will think you're a stupid ass for it. But some don't want to leave it because they don't want to be seen as a stupid ass. And then in the end, whoever did not want to be seen as a stupid ass from the get-go end up being the stupid ass in the end. And those who stood the test of time and found the strength to be the stupid ass, and then with patience, and then later on became the victor. Because both you are the ass and the victor. This is who you are. It's either you put one before the other, but you're gonna end up being both. Because God is not the light, not the darkness. God is not the good, not the bad. God is not the up, not the low. God is all of it. You see what I'm saying? So only when you accept everything, then you know God. You accept yourself for real, then you know God. Yes, you will fool, like I say. I know you will fool yourself and others, whatever. But until when it's no longer time to continue the foolishness. But if you don't put a stop in it after all the words that come at you, the universe trying to show you certain things, and you keep on pushing through and being fake and whatever, then you are the greatest problem in your own path. You see what I'm saying? That's why when the Bible say that no weapons formed against you shall prosper, I beg to add, accept yourself. You see what I mean? Because there's always that threat. Yes, the weapon outside may not face you, but the one within is unmatchable to the one outside, really. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. We have to go in at things and do this and that, whatever. If you do really believe that killing the gays, killing the transgenders, talking shit about Dwayne Wade and his privacy or whatever is the solution, then you're not doing anything new, because there's many people that make money off of that, millions of dollars. They have agencies doing that already. And the elites already planned centuries ago to kill majority of the monkeys' asses. So there's nothing new. So if you're not saying anything new, then why are you even speaking? There's already, so how about you sit and enjoy your life to the point until the elite find you and kill you? Because that's the best you can do. So as at least you stop yourself from continuing to be a part of the problem, thinking you being the solution. You see, that's the problem with the mind. It may be under the illusion of being the solution when it is the very problem. You see, whatever you believe, become. If you become the solution, then you're gonna be the problem, thinking it's the solution. The mind is a very powerful tool. That's why it's so important for human being with such a great mind to know itself. You see, know that God within. You see, and there's no pretending when you are being that God. You don't need to. You see what I mean? But we just want to we want to move on. But the thing is, like, you have to realize that it's not up to men to be the gatekeepers and let through like we think. If you see the bean go through, that is because the bean went through. No one could have stopped it. You see what I mean? Because it's not about feelings or this and that. It's literally the vibration. Do you match the vibration of the gate? Then you become that gate. You see what I'm saying? It's not really depending on monkeys or fools throwing judgment. You see what I mean? How many of us throw judgment and come and find out that it means nothing? If corporations is the lowest form of leadership, and you have no say into who becomes the president of it or not, and what makes you think you're gonna be something as grander as a multifaceted being, to make you the voice of what goes and what doesn't? You see what I mean? When we judge and judge and do that, we're only wasting our time. Because in reality, the universe doesn't base what it does on our miserable bestial judgments, retarded judgment. What the universe needs is for us to accept ourselves. You see what I mean? So that we can be. But these gates, they don't depend on men, feelings and aspirations and drives. They don't depend on that. This thing is something natural. There's no say in it. You just gotta match the vibration. And you can't fake that vibration either. So that's why there's no need to question who goes in and who goes to hell or who stays to paradise. It's not up to man. You see what I mean? So there's no need to fool ourselves. Yes, I mean, fool the masses, blah, blah, blah. You see what I mean? But you think the masses gonna continue to be asses? No, they're gonna evolve. And that M in the beginning of ass will be silent. Will no longer be silent. It will be ass mass. Mass is the ass is the mass. That's it. You see what I mean? So to conclude this podcast, episode 8 today, 8, the infinite. So what would I say? It is literally, like I said, it's to accept and understand oneself so that we may understand the heavens and how they work. You see what I'm saying? Because we are everything and everything is us. So long as we are able to understand what's in front of us or what's within us, most importantly, only then we can understand anything outside of us. But if the closest one, like the movie Paycheck with Ben Affleck say, we keep on looking too far, thereby missing what's right under our noses. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. There's really no need. There's no need. We don't need no opinions of anyone, blah, blah, blah. That's not the time. That's why the Quran says, you see, in the day of judgment, everyone will be naked. That's the ego. Naked. Meaning he cannot hide behind pretense anymore. And everyone will only worry about their own selves. Because they will realize how great they are. Therefore, their actions were as well. And even their sayings. So how could you worry once you see the greatness that you are? What time do you have for any other ego? You see what I mean? And that's the reality now. The only reason you still worry about someone else is because you are behind time. You don't know the time. You don't know what time it is. Because if you did, you will only worry about yourself. And the only reason you're behind time is because you were worrying about everyone else but yourself. You see what I mean? So our job is not to come and make money alone or whatever, blah, blah, blah. If that's what we were doing in the past, making money. So like the Hollywood people, like Jim Carrey, like Oprah, who's always talking about spiritual enlightenment. Because she has that dire need within her. She always saying it, seeking it. You see? And some have achieved it, you see, like Will Smith. Don't you see? The last age they were looking to be famous and rich. They got that. So now they had to prepare for the new age, which is embellishing their own souls and spirit. That's why you will find even, what's his name? The one with you see, what's the name of this brand again? Not Snipe, but is it Wesley or Wesley? Whatever, I forgot the name. You see, you will find them in the morning doing yoga. You see, yoga, doing meditation, traveling. They don't go too much clubbing and this and that, whatever, because they understand the time. Because they already have money. It's not about survival anymore for them. So now they are faced with the reality that they are the greatest thing. So now, are you gonna be the greatest beast or the greatest God? So now they have to start working on themselves. This is why they are able to guide today with their words. You see what I'm saying? And action. That's why they don't worry. Like Jim Carrey would say, he wish everyone would become famous and rich so that the people understand that's not what life is about. But it's just not easy for him, for people to trust him with that word, because they'll be like, look at where he's living to say these things. But that doesn't mean that is not right. And this is why we have to make the decision we make to leave money for the last. Because if we're gonna tell people, money is not happiness or money is not everything, whatever, we cannot be rich and have money to say that and make it and have potential to change anything. Because all they can be is see the reality, like, you're saying that in your mention. Yeah. But you have to take the hell with a smile on. Show them that, yeah, it's not, it's just you. You see, you can do this, like, then everything else shall be added. You see what I mean? But of course, people is gonna take you stupid, like, whatever, blah, blah. Look, if you did know something, why don't you have something? And then you're looking stupid, and you have to be patient. You don't just curse out, fuck you, fuck everybody, fuck the world. I hope you all burn in hell. Of course, I felt that. But I had to trust Great Mother too, and those that seek to guide with their words telling you, yes, it's not about that. I trusted Jim Carrey's words. I trusted Will Smith's words. I trusted Madonna's words. I trusted Katy Perry's words. You see what I mean? Muji's words, Sadhguru, and the teachers of Sadhguru, the teachers of Muji. You see what I mean? The teachers of Muhammad, Nobuju Ali, whatever is added unto me, I had to trust, because they are saying the same thing. More than I listen to the voice of the masses that are the asses. You see what I'm saying? So I'm only saying this for you to have this hope. You see, this hope that wherever you are, it's not who you are. It's just a page in your book. You see what I mean? Just a step on your journey. Something to overcome. Something that you shall overcome, because nothing stays the same. You're moving forward, of course. Either backwards or forward. You're moving. Energy never stands, you see? So that's what it is. So in reality, it's not about anything, because I know if I don't come and say that I have the courage to speak so bluntly, then really it's gonna continue, like the doubts, the this, the that, the whatever, thinking those that are talking shit gonna continue thinking they're doing. But I'm not helping those that pass and have literally lived for people. They were not about the money. I think the producers of that new show with Malcolm X's death or something like that, they added to me more than I knew. Like I say, I don't really study people. You see, because I'm so worried about my own self for so long, all of my life. So the thing is, like, when I see someone talking and I know the person is a great person like this, then I pay mine. I pay attention. I give my energy to it. And then I learn some more about Elijah Muhammad. That there is a reason why whatever he did, it's too great to have done them for no reason. You see what I mean? He will never really destroy himself unless he knew that's the way he had to do. That doesn't mean that's what every man who follow him had to do, because obviously they're followers. Whatever followers have to do is not what the leader has to do, because the leader's actions may be more than the followers. That's why it takes one leader for 1 billion of followers. You see what I mean? That's not what we say. But we just call upon you to watch instead of belittling the men regardless of what he did for men. So specifically for black folks and stuff like that. And he does also for white folks. Why? Because if he did not transform these black folks and make them self-sufficient, then they would have become a burden to the white folks too. That's why there's no separation. except in our monkey minds. So now our job is to stop being perverted, a bunch of perverts, and then see sexual energy for what it is, the God power. Something that can destroy and something that can heal. So far we have shown the power of the destruction of it. So now we call you to see the power of the healing of it. But you cannot heal something as powerful as sex using something as lame as money. You see, it has to be something matching the power. And what can match the power of creation itself? Then the same thing. You see what I mean? We keep seeing things as, oh, this, that's bad. Kill these motherfuckers. Kill these gays. Kill this, that. Kill this, kill. Oh, fuck Elijah Muhammad. Whatever. He's a pedophile. He's whatever. You see what I mean? But why would I pay voice to that, except that I have to stop being a coward and stand for the truth? You see? Because otherwise, even if I don't say it about Elijah Muhammad, my silence dictates that I agree that he is who they say, who the masses or the asses are saying that he is. But instead, like I do with everything else, I question my own integrity and my own self. Am I looking at it the wrong way? Or is the man truly what they're saying he is? You see what I'm saying? Because when we change the way we look at things, the very thing we look at change. Sometimes it may be the filters we're looking through that are dirty, not what we're looking at. You see? And this is why we started with you with understanding of good and bad. We kept on repeating that to you. There's a reason with everything we do. You see? We're not no monkey repeating books. We live it. You see? So the thing is like we started with good, understanding good, bad, dark and light. That's the foundation of the day. You have to know that they no longer serve to think things are separate or God and the devil. God, that's why those questions come forth. God might be stupid to create such a powerful nemesis or something like that. Indeed. You're not wrong for saying that. God would have been stupid for creating such a powerful nemesis. But is it really a nemesis or is it within God? One being. Different spectrum of the same. The high vibration of it is the God self. The low vibration of it is the beast self. And man, the avatar within which both express in the reality, have the choice to either vibrate to the beast or vibrate to that God. You see what I mean? That is the simple truth. But I call you now to tame your mouth, that monkey mouth, mindless monkey, so I don't be disrespectful to the monkeys. You see? The mindless monkey mouth, tame it and start asking the right questions. Should we destroy Michael Jackson? Regardless of what he has done. Should we destroy this? Should we destroy that? Because every man we expect to be perfect end up doing something that we don't understand. So how about now it's time to become mature and start questioning ourselves, which is what it was supposed to be in the first place. You see what I mean? But I cannot sit, like I say, and allow us to destroy the work of Elijah Muhammad. Destroy the work of Muhammad from the past. Ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Because many Muslims leave Islam because of this misunderstanding. As I became a Muslim myself, I find myself questioning that. Then I realized I was supposed to question myself. And then I find the answer, the reason behind it all. Because even Muhammad, such a holy man, they call him a pervert up to today. When we do that, every good thing they put, now we give the monkeys or the animals a reason to be animals. Why? Because this is who we are. There's no better. Look, Muhammad was a fake. He was a pedophile. He dated a 6-year-old. Perverts. We think it's him that is the pervert. But we don't see that the father of that child agreed. Not through gun to his head, he agreed and he was honored. So are they the perverts? Or are we? You see what I mean? So when we face with certain great things, it's easy to blame, it's easy to point fingers, it's easy to get mad, because that's what weakness does. But strength is facing it head on. Not looking at it as something and throwing a judgment on it, but analyzing oneself. From what stand are we seeing it? Is it from something that is inclusive of all that is? Or is it from something separate of all things, which is what monkey or devil, demons. Demons start with the D. The D is half a circle. Either are we seeing it from the full circle, or are we seeing it from a demon's eyes, which we are, which is half a circle. We are missing half of the story. But how can we face the other half if we think with the half we see the all? You see what I'm saying? So the best thing we can do for ourselves is to start living according to what the time calls for. Worry about our own selves and our own doing. Lights, like you see the sun comes in the sky and then shed lights on everyone. This is the time where corporations do. The illusions come forth. And then we go and do what? Share business, share arts, share words, and live with each other and this and that, blah, blah, blah. You see what I mean? And then the night, everybody look for their safe havens and stuff and go live whatever they do, which is no one's business within the light. And always respecting the realms and stuff like that, and the veils. You see what I mean? That's why the greatest threat we pose, and this is why all it takes humanity to become a danger to the universe further, is to say fuck whatever government is doing, trying to spy on everyone. I do whatever the fuck I want. Because the man has the power to vibe beyond fear, the wrong way. If we take controlling them is to have all the time like cameras everywhere, mic everywhere, this and that, blah, blah, blah. What if they say, fuck it? I don't give a fuck, you see it. So what else now? You see? Because that's what I had to say myself. Fuck it. Because the work is so important. I cannot run because who else has the voice, really? So I had to just be the man and be fuck it. Alright, whatever. Because in reality, it's just a respect more than it is a fear. Once you realize it. Okay, I respect authority. I respect this. I respect that. But not fear it. But if authority doesn't respect itself, then you leave the animals no choice but to match that disrespect. You see what I mean? We have to be careful with what we do. And no one is exempt from anything. You see? Everyone has weakness, so just like everyone has strength. You see what I mean? So that's what it is. And I say this because these people, Elijah, Muhammad, Jesus, they're not dead. That's why the Quran says that too. Do not think of these people as dead. The men that come and do great things for humanity, they are never dead. You see what I'm saying? So I would not be good to sit there and then watch their names becoming something other than what they are. And even if they were what you say they were, my job is not to only focus on the one little bad, but to see all the good as well. And that will make me worthy of going beyond. Because I recognize in me I'm not perfect. So if I want everyone to love me with my imperfection, so I have to be willing to give everyone that same pass. But it's only a hypocrite that would stand and pretend to be perfect. That's why that song I share, and I think those people who make that song, I forgot for now, but I think it's what's his name, and whatever. Forgive me for forgetting, but I don't forget your soul, your heart. Fuck the perfect people. You don't mean to say, but this is too important. You see? It's too important not to say. Because we know there's no such thing. So who are we lying to in these days? When people are coming to themselves, they know who they are. They know they are the devil. They know they are the God. So who are we lying to now? So in my words, you will see there's no enemy for me. You can't stand a chance. Unless you are an enemy to yourself. Because in my words, there's no bias. It's not about how I'm standing with this and not with that. You see, there's no such thing. This is the totality of it. The whole truth. The higher truth. You see? Like Martin said on the latest show she was on the Sister Osset platform. He said there is two types of truth. There is an objective truth and there's a subjective truth. The subjective truth is the light that we bring from the darkness. And the darkness presents the objective truth, which needs nobody's choices or say or yay or nay or whatever. It is objective. You see what I mean? It has nothing to do with who or whatever. Everyone bow to that truth. And he gives example of such. Like an objective truth is that if you hold your breath for long enough, you will die. Objective. It doesn't matter what color, what age, how much money, whatever. It is the same for everyone. When you stand for that truth, it needs no explanation. It needs no apologies. You see what I mean? But the subjective truth is the darkness. It's the darkness that is yours on that level. You see what I mean? Is what gonna bring you the objective truth. You see? The truth that everyone can see. The light, the sun in the sky. You see what I mean? So I just give you the codes and the ways to understand so that you can no longer be a problem on your own growth. But pretending, we will never get anywhere. Because now it's time to gravitate towards the higher. Go through the gates of the heart and becoming love. Not no longer doing loving things, but becoming love. That unconditional love. You see what I mean? That's what it is. But first we have to pass the test of the lower realms. The three realms that 99.9% of us are going through. You see what I'm saying? Which is the highest is the sexual energy where we are stuck at. And the best answers we have is repeating the patterns of the old mind. You see what I mean? But of course, we have to pass it. The guilt must fall. All of these things must fall. Meaning you have to transform the guilt into acceptance. Your children became transgender, you love them as such. You see, they're gays, you love them as such. Seek to understand them and give them love, healing. Because whatever they become, it's not because they chose, it's because of what it is that we, the first generation, were doing, that this is the answer. Or the ripple effect of that. You see what I'm saying? So we cannot separate ourselves from this from the effect of us being the cause of. You see what I'm saying? This is childish, this is retarded, it's stupid. You see what I mean? It's everything dumb to even think so. And to even think we can get away with it and go beyond. Unless we made peace with ourselves, thinking that the best we can do. We can never go toward the higher chakras. And if it is so, then allow the elite who was doing a great job controlling your little monkey asses to continue to do so. Because like they say, some people agree to be the guardian of the lower realms. They don't want to go beyond. They say, okay, this is where I belong. And then if they are the Lord of the lower world, so to them is the glory. To them is the power. You see what I'm saying? So you just stuck in between as the slave. Unless you move to go beyond. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. But it doesn't matter what you look like now, how much followers, how much money, whatever. Things never stay the same. It doesn't matter if you delusional, it will change. Your job is to make sure you are safe in all timeline. You see what I'm saying? Trying to safeguard in one, oh, I'm gonna leave money for my children in this one, doing all this nonsense. What are you saying about these kids? That you are not smart enough to create a seed that's gonna be able to survive anything in any timeline. That's why the greatest gift you can give your children is that of understanding of who they are and what life. And the minute you give them that, they will survive wherever they go. Because how can you say they're gonna survive if you teach them to depend on you? When you're not here to exist forever. You see what I mean? We're doing everything wrong anyway. Except that we're too stupid to see it. You see what I mean? But we may not be stupid when we recognize the weakness in our own actions and thinking. Therefore, opening our eyes and ears to other thinking. Knowing that there's more to life than what we think. You see what I'm saying? But we have to stop thinking that we have nothing to do with whatever is. Everything you see on the inside, on the outside, is what exists on the inside. If it was not on the inside of us, then it will not exist on the outside of us. It doesn't matter how good of fake monkeys we are, how good we pretend or whatever. That's why the actors, that's why I'm literally realizing that the people of Hollywood are the holiest, to tell you the truth. Because they are the ones who accept themselves. They are the ones, meaning once they accept themselves, that means they are working on themselves. That's why everybody gravitates towards them. That's why everybody can't help but loving them. Because they are loving for real. If they say fuck you, it's not fake, it's for real. And if they say they love you too, it's for real. Because they don't need your miserable dollar. They're rich, they're famous, they this, they that. You see what I mean? So that's why in this life we have to understand that what you see is not always what it is. Whoever you see as the devil may not be the devil. Whoever you see as God may not be God. You see, because you are looking to the monkey eyes, to the bestial eyes, the eye that can literally be deceived at all time. And the Islam itself tell you these days is the day of the Dajjal, and Dajjal means deceiver. I mean, if you depend on these eyes, then the Dajjal already have the control over these eyes. They know what you see. That's why, if really these eyes were to be the guide that the universe depend on to judge what's good, what's bad, then who's the prophets among us today? Who are the angels? Except Angel, the magician. Except the people doing magic tricks in front of your eyes these days. They are the powerful angels, the powerful prophets, those who should listen to. Because is the prophet someone who can do magic? You see what I'm saying? Or are we just too dumb thinking things in the old ways, thinking whatever, like repeating old patterns and not thinking for ourselves and make life only about making money? That's why every leader we see, all we want to say is that, what have you done for the people? And we don't say no more than feeding them. We don't mean no more than feeding them. Like we're a bunch of miserable monkeys that needs a handout all the time. That's the best we are. Therefore, the best among us is those that feed the most of us. You see what I'm saying? That's not really who we are. We are more than just that. You see what I mean? That's why the Christ said, what? Men live not of bread alone. Except that we do regurgitate these words, yet don't understand them. Because every action we do, everything we call Brother Nipsey Jesus because he fed people. You see? We call this because of then McDonald's fed more, like I said. Many great corporations feeding way more today, if that's really what we base our understanding on, or our piety on bread? Or are we willing to accept that we're just a bunch of retards? You see what I'm saying? So I don't mean to be an adult with you. I don't mean to be blunt. I mean to be fake. I mean to be, a hypocrite with it. But that's not what you pay me for. You see what I'm saying? You say you want the truth. You're mature. You can take it. To know when I hate more than someone who's lying to me. You say it all the time. So I am what you want. So I thank you for listening and stuff like this. We literally warn every monkey who always look to listen to what's none of their business or something like that. If you feel pain or whatever, that means you came and you get it, because the ancestors always tell you what curiosity killed the cat, and today is the day you realize that. Don't be curious, especially in matters of spirit, because you might go ahead and find out. You see what I'm saying? That's why me myself, I never really seek to know except on the need to know basis. You see, never. So that's what it is. I said already, this is a conversation for adults, for masters. I'm not saying for pretending or something, for true masters, those who are obviously going to be able to swallow and understand. Understanding the difference between truths, subjective and objective, and then not question the objective truth, because it would be a retarded move, because obviously just a dumb monkey thinking you can question objective truths. There's no need to question that, because it is what it is already. Subjective, which is personal, then you may question that, only because everybody's path is different. Of course, you have to question it to see if it can apply to your own uniqueness on your own unique path. You see? But the truth that vibrates beyond personal, no question about it. So there's no hiding, there's no whatever, there's no none of this. We're making noise for no reason. And things will continue to be worse and worse and worse, like every prophet's foreseen, unless we realize we are the problem. Because we are the world, like Michael Jackson said. You see? If the world is sick, so are we. Or it's because of we. It doesn't matter how much we pretend to point fingers, but we are the world. That's the truth. All right. So this was your brother Vlad and your podcast V podcast. And you see, if anything, if any questions, any disagreement, we are open to listen to whatever you have to say. And also, we know that what would I say? YouTube becoming a platform where everyone, are welcome to, share their uniqueness, share their voice, and whatever they have to offer humanity. This is the time for it. That's why we thank all these creators, you see, that create these apps and these platforms for us to speak our mind. Of course, we have to be patient with them. Nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. They have to make sure, as the creators, to watch the mouth of those that accept that we give you our services, except that you give whatever you have of worth back, you see. So the thing is like what it is with Embert Multimedia Productions. This is the department where we can hire many. We have a lot of young candidates that want to work with us, of different demographics and stuff like this. They have talents, and the more we have partners or supporters and clients, the more we are able to have. We will be forced to hire these young talents and take them off the streets, by giving them work, so long as we are guiding them and showing them how to do it. And through Embert Multimedia Production and Embert Productions too, is where we seek to bring the movies and the ideas we have in the forefront. You see, that's a different level and stuff like that. You see, we cannot beg you except that we give you services. And if you respect yourself and your platform and you want it to look beautiful, then we are here to help with that. And then the prices are pretty reasonable to the point where you think we're stupid. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, that is that. And also, whatever else would I say? What else did we have to say? And next topic, we, usually it comes through as we are speaking, but we already may know. But if there's next topic, you shall find out soon. So what you say, everything, and all the different shows that we are working on will be through the VTV platform, and this platform that we are coming to is VTV. Shout out to VTV, where we may feature different people that we deem worthy, but many will be called, but only few are chosen, and the chosen ones we don't choose them, except they choose themselves. You see what I'm saying? So it's nothing, of mundane. Everything is really of the next level. You see what I'm saying? So what it is, support VTV. We also soon should release the we should release the Patreon page where everyone who seek to work with us and support us and work with us shall join us on that platform the minute that we release the website, the page. And then when being a patron and stuff like this, you will be able to have one-on-one with us, because we listen to our lovers and those who guide us and help us understand through the dark clouds and how to navigate safely. And they say you cannot be available to everyone because there are indeed some different type of intentions and level, whatever. But we don't worry about that, really. But it is just the name of the game. So, only because it will not be fair to those who pay to gain access to us. So that's why we have to respect them. That's why they are the one who shows they trusted and they believe, because they didn't just say, they put their hands where the mouth is. So we have to respect that. And because of that, on that platform, the Patreon page, we will offer Patreons one-on-one, session where they can talk, have a conversation, and in the end, we promise you that you will see life or different. You see, and trust me, it doesn't matter what level you are. Of course, the higher you are in degree, in level, in your path, the better we can serve you. Because where the neophyte will question, you may not. You see what I mean? So you will move even faster. So we will share with you of our light, which is every one of us is light being anyway. There's no difference in reality. You see what I'm saying? But except some are ahead of their time, meaning bigger light, and some are on time, medium light, some are behind time, smaller light. You see? So that's what it is. So thank you for that, and make sure to subscribe, and so that you don't miss any of the shows and the podcasts, the cartoon, the movies, whatever it may be in the future. Because we have to be self-sustaining. So much talent, but not enough togetherness, you see. And most of these things, you see, they're all supposed to be on the Secret Energy page, because we are a pupil of Secret Energy. You see what I mean? And that's why also those who follow Secret Energy, they are already in the right place, and those who seek to see us move may subscribe to Secret Energy as well and support that platform. You see? So the thing is, like, shout out to Secret Energy. And what it is, I think that's it. I don't know how long we've been on here, but the message was needed, because without our action, we're disrespecting every great man who ever lived among us, or something like this, and then we will not cease, because there's no such thing as a perfect leader or a perfect being, except that we need to have a perfect understanding of what we're looking at, you see. So thank you for your time. live, love, laugh, and learn. And remember, when toxicity comes your way, sprinkle some love on that shit. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful Sunday and week ahead of you. Wholeness.